noon, we track all the developments coming in from the Supreme Court of India, which has come down heavily on the 5 state governments which were before it. This concerns the hazardous levels of pollution here in the national capital. Let's cut across to the latest news coming in from the apex court of the country. The top court breathes fire over the deteriorating air quality in Delhi. The top court has observed that Delhi can't be made to go through this each time. This as the number of children going through health issues has only risen. The Supreme Court has also observed that Delhi used to blame farm fires in the state of Punjab for pollution, and now it's the same political party which is ruling the state right now. They blame Haryana. Stubble burning must stop. That's what the Supreme Court has reiterated. If you look at the pollution menace in the last 5 to 6 years and how this crisis has been tackled, Supreme Court and the National Green Tribunal have been at the forefront of tackling pollution. The graded response action plan that you have today in place is not something that the government came on its own. It was in fact EPCA, the Environment Protection Control Authority set up by the Supreme Court of India in the case of MC Mehta, that came up with these solutions. And now once again Supreme Court pulling up the government's, asking them for medium to long-term solution. Let's cut across to Ananya, who is with us on the broadcast. Ananya, first what the Supreme Court said, and secondly, what were the arguments of states like Punjab and Haryana?
Well, definitely, it was, in fact, the bench headed by Justice SK Kaul, which is still hearing this particular matter with regards to the pollution menace in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. We see how the air has turned out in the state of Delhi, and in fact, Justice Kaul was very, very stern that, all of this has to stop. The children in Delhi are facing health hazard due to pollution, and that's exactly why the neighbouring states too should come in and weigh in. And in fact, he also said to the Punjab government that now they are in the same political dispensation as that of the Delhi government. Both are ruled by the Aam Aadmi Party, and that's where both these governments should sit together and work out a solution for it. In fact, he also told the central government to suggest for giving MSP on other crops so that an alternative crop can be used, so that farm fires and stubble burning can actually be stopped in these states which affect the pollution level in fact the National Capital Territory of Delhi. But not only this, not only the farm fires are the result of the hazardous air quality in the national capital, but also with regards to vehicle pollution. The court was very, very stern with the Delhi government that there are n number of yellow plated cars, that is the taxis that are ploughing in the National Capital Territory. Some are registered in UP, some in Haryana, some in the national capital itself, and there should be a mechanism wherein the entry of vehicles should be regulated in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. And in fact, not only the court was stern on the taxis, but also with regards to the buses the Delhi government runs, the DTC buses that are there in the national capital are mostly half full and are contributing to the pollution in the national capital, is what Justice Kaul had to say. In fact, the Punjab Advocate General, who was appearing before the Supreme Court of India, was very, very fair in saying that Punjab is the major contributor and it is ready to take all kinds of steps when it comes to controlling the pollution menace in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. So the hearing still continues before the topmost court of the country. Whether we see some directions from the Supreme Court or not is something that we'll have to wait and watch for at this point of time.
MC Mehta versus Union of India, the landmark case, like many other cases in the country, which has led to a series of orders coming in from the Supreme Court of India. The ban on the entry of trucks here in the national capital, or various other measures that have been devised, the graded response action plan. On many occasions, the Supreme Court had to shy the governments to sit together on a table. The court also saying that this committee culture must go. Each time there is a problem, there is a committee which is set up, but there is no medium to long-term solution, a permanent one of some nature, a progressive one which is offered to the citizens, not just here in Delhi, but in the north of the country. Various parts of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Haryana continue to face the pollution crisis, and the state of Punjab, Ananya, has to be fair. It's ruled right now by the same party as here in Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party. Any observations coming in as far as state of Haryana is concerned? Has Haryana made its submission so far?
Well, Haryana has said that, it is also taking all kinds of measures in order to, go ahead to stop this particular problem. In fact, the state of Rajasthan also has stated that though, in fact, it does not have a particular border that comes in. The air travels through Haryana here in the national capital whenever there is something in Rajasthan. Very categorically they have stated that, you know, all kinds of measures are being taken place, though stubble burning is not much of a problem in the state of Rajasthan, but still they are ready to cooperate and take all steps in this particular regard. Very categorically the Supreme Court is still hearing. We'll have to wait for some observations coming in from the bench headed by Justice SK Kaul, but at this point of time, very categorically the Supreme Court is very stern on the vehicular pollution in the national capital territory, asking for an entry of vehicles to be regulated by the Delhi government, and the centre's cooperation also being sought, wherein alternative mechanism has to be suggested to the farmers to grow alternative crops instead of paddy, which is the major cause of problem in the state of Punjab. In fact, the Punjab government very categorically saying that, you know, paddy was never a crop that was grown in Punjab. It was brought in the Green Revolution, and that's exactly one of the major issues when it comes to stubble burning, and there has to be an alternative mechanism that has to be given out to the farmers of Punjab so that they can have a well-being, and the problem of pollution can also be controlled in that in fact the state in the national capital territory of Delhi.
One wonders what the elected governments are doing. Judiciary has been at the forefront. Judiciary has been criticized multiple times for encroaching upon the domain of the legislature, but various state governments have failed to come together on the table and come up with some kind of a long-term solution. Air pollution does not look at the boundaries of Delhi, UP, Punjab and Haryana. It's a problem across the country, especially in the north of the country. There was a time when 3 toddlers had to move the Supreme Court of India seeking their right to breathe. And that's how we got a ban on firecrackers here in the national capital. The entire concept of green crackers, the entire concept of a graded response action plan, and how various state pollution control board, central pollution control board ought to act. All of that has come in from judiciary, and it's the judiciary which has forced the bureaucracy and the government to sit together. And it seems like that once again, that's going to be the scenario. My colleague Anshul is also joining us live. Anshul has been reporting from different locations here in the national capital. Anshul, it was a hazy morning. The visibility compared to the past 2 days is relatively better, but the pollution levels, there is no respite.
So yes, the pollution levels in the national capital still continue to remain above the 400 mark, which means that it is still in the severe category. Now it is the 5th straight day that the AQI in the national capital has remained in the severe category, and hence it is becoming a very tough thing for the people of the national capital to just breathe, because what the doctors are saying at this point in time, that this air that we are breathing is very hazardous to our health, and some of the doctors even believe that there is a direct connection to the air that we are breathing to dangerous diseases such as to the extent of cancer as well. Yes. So yes, a lot of questions have already been raised on the ability of the Delhi government and the Delhi administration and even the central government to make sure that the air quality in the national capital is improved year on year. But yes, what we have seen that even last year the AQI remained approximately in the same category as it is this year as well. So there has been very little to no improvement in the AQI that we have seen that engulfs the national capital year in and year out. But this time around the government is taking the steps that it has been taking from previous years as well. But yes, there is very little improvement that can be seen on the ground, and hence we are seeing that the schools are closed this year as well. In fact, the odd even rule is also going to be implemented, but how much will that actually go ahead and affect the AQI in the national capital? That is still a big question mark, because